This is Actualize Freedom, straight talk on growing clicks and conversions on Amazon FBA from people doing it every day. Now here's your host, digital marketing acrobat, Danny Kenji Carlson.
What I'm talking about today is building an audience off Amazon. And I'll start off with a little bit about me. It's not that I'm very short, but it's going to be a very short intro. I've got a background from digital marketing, from agencies, from SEO, from AdWords, all those different things over years. And then I looked at Amazon and got highly involved in Amazon. It was probably about 2014. And some interesting things that I've really noticed. I've done everything from client work, working with clients, looking at my own products, working at an agency doing Amazon SEO, all those type of things. But there are a few things that I've noticed. If I can jump on the next slide, is it going to let me? What I've noticed about Amazon is that they've really gone down the same way as Google has. I need to sort of explain that. Is when you first built a website and you put it in Amazon, in Google, like a few years back, all you had to do was design a website in the right way, optimize it in inverted commas, and then you almost automatically started to rank. And all you needed was a few links. So if anybody doesn't know anything about SEO or ML, Google SEO works, basically optimization is, there's two sides. There's the on-page optimization, and then there's the off-page. So on-page, as I calculate now, it's probably less than 1% of why a website actually ranks. It's the off-page, the incoming links from other websites and from the same website, which actually has the most effect on ranking. Now, even to the point that I went to a live event a couple of years ago, and the guy says, "This is how you do SEO. Go and check out the backlinks from the top ranked sites. Do what they're doing." So that's really, and I've noticed this as well. I've done just about everything in the SEO space, from everything that's completely white hat to everything that's completely black hat, and everything in between. And so if you then reflect it over to the way Amazon has gone, Amazon has evolved as well. And when I started a few years ago, you could put a product up and you'd be on page 2 for a 2-word keyword term, and you'd then be away. You just need to create a few sales and you would pop up onto the next page. Now, if you try to do that now, nothing's going to happen. You can optimize a listing, again in inverted commas, right? Optimize a listing and make sure you got the keywords and everything. But if it hasn't got the actual sales volume happening, then Amazon's not going to see the value. So you have to create that sales volume or the sales velocity happening so that Amazon sees them as a relative product that people are buying, and then it goes up in the rankings, because we're always keeping in mind what Amazon wants. Amazon wants happy customers, and to be perfectly blunt, they don't care about us as sellers. That's to be fair. We're replaceable, pretty much instantly replaceable. But when you've got a product that's appeared on there and it's created sales volume and people are buying it and all those things are happening, then that's the Amazon version of the Google version of links. So that's like votes, basically. The votes are people voting with actual money that they're buying the product, and that's preferably full price sales. I'm not going to get in too far into launches and that sort of thing in this call, at least. It's more about the next step, what I see as the next step in the evolution of where Amazon sellers need to go. Because for the few years we've been focusing on just creating the fantastic listings, which you do have to have, but it's about that sales volume and creating that. So let me just jump on to the next one. And we're talking about building an audience off Amazon, right? And what I want to talk about is for starters, like I said, why building your own store off Amazon is not the first step. Now, I've done e-commerce in the Amazon space, and I've done e-commerce in the normal space with your own store, your own Shopify store, and they are two totally different models, and they take a totally different mindset. When you're on Amazon, you're all about getting those people to the website, and Amazon will do the conversion for you, and it's about getting in the right spot on Amazon, and Amazon does all the heavy lifting for you. In exchange for all your customer information, in exchange for what's happening, they're telling you less and less about the customer, because they're not your customer. they're Amazon's. That's a really key point. And it is easy to get onto Amazon and be in a trance because the sales can happen with you actually doing almost nothing. That's really, once it's up, once you've done the initial hard work, sometimes it just can carry on for years. I know of Amazon sellers who have put listings up and done the work to get them right, and 2 years later they're still making money. It doesn't happen very recently anymore because there are too many people coming into most spaces and people not doing it, just competing on price. That's not the way to win, but that's what you could do. So that's the difference between the two. And if you want to go and build your own Shopify store, you can have the most perfect design and the perfect products, but you haven't got a implementation or a plan to promote that site and understand how that's going to work, and that the conversion rate is going to be a lot less than Amazon, and you need to play a long game, then you're going to get very frustrated because it's not going to happen quickly because you don't have the trust. Amazon's got all the trust. And so that's why first step doesn't need to be your own store. Your first step needs to building your own audience that you can help your products sell on Amazon and launch new products. And then when you do launch a store and have that process, you can use that audience that you've built to promote your products, to get more eyeballs on your products and make more sales.
So I think that's so key what you're saying there. That is one of the most common mistakes I see brands, even fairly successful brands. Like I know some people who they're doing 8 figures in sales on Amazon, and they've invested a lot of time, money, and resources into trying to get their own Shopify store, their own website to convert to sales. And it's a completely different beast. Like they've really figured out how to sell things on Amazon, and obviously 8 figures is great, but they could not replicate even a fraction of that number on their own store, even after spending more than $100,000 on, team costs and advertising and all that kind of stuff. So that just kind of proves the point that it really is a totally different beast than Amazon, right? Just because you have success there does not mean that you're going to have success on your own website.
Yeah, the challenge that I have, right? Say, even if you're doing 8 figures on Amazon, I've spent a lot of time in seller support, and anybody who sells products on Amazon knows what it's like. It's like hitting your head against the wall, trying to get something fixed. I had a client who was selling chicken feeders. They were manual, automatic chicken feeders where the chicken sticked on the pedal, and he got flagged for pesticide because he had rats or rat proof in his listing. And I got on a call with Amazon, and they said, okay, we accept that you're not selling a pesticide type product. Firstly, they said you needed to go through the pesticide course, which is in the US, which you couldn't do, so that was out. And eventually they just said, oh, okay, so we'll fix it up when it gets dealt with. And I says, okay, so what's going to happen? And I said, does it go in a virtual pile waiting for the EPA person to look at it? And he said, yeah, that's basically what happens. So 4 days later, 4 or 7 days later, lost 20 grand in sales, and it was reinstated, only to 4 days later again trigger the same thing again, get taken down. So anybody who's selling on Amazon know that it's challenging. They're going to give you a run around. And if you've got a best-selling product today, that doesn't mean it's going to be there later. You haven't got customer data. How can you reach your customers again? So don't get me wrong, I love the Amazon model, but I'm really scared of a big company having so much control over all of your business and e-commerce. So,
yeah, I mean, it's true, but I think a lot of people also forget that everyone whose business relies on Facebook ads or Google is in the exact same boat. I have lots of friends here in Bali who are, they're doing 7 figures a month in e-commerce only through Facebook, and they have to deal with the same thing with their Facebook ads accounts getting suspended, shut down, and it's that it's going to be the same case wherever you go, right? So really the only way to get around that is create your own audience, is what you're talking about, right? Let's continue with what is the next step for building your own audience off of Amazon?
So let's have a look. So the first step of building an audience off Amazon, and this has been taught a lot of times, is product inserts, right? At least have a product insert within your product, right inside it, because Amazon, there is some rumor that Amazon checks product inserts, but I haven't seen any facts that go with it. But something that tells them a reason to go to your own website. Now, I'm going to put a disclaimer in there. that Amazon doesn't like you redirecting them to anything off Amazon. But if you get any product bought off Amazon, they will have at least something about their own website in it. What I'm saying is make that quite a direct offer. Now, if you get a branded product, like a big brand, they'll have an instruction document with it that would at least mention their website, but not any sort of great reason to do that. I've used some of my products are small, so I've actually used business cards. And simple way to create an insert with your products is use business cards. If it's a small product, and use Canva and get them designed at Canva, and have a clear call to action to go to your website. And that can be product registration. That doesn't hold a lot of weight. Again, I'm an analytics person as well, so if you've got a way of testing this and at least testing what you're doing, with product inserts, you get to put them in there, and then you don't know until 3 months later whether they're actually working, how well they're working. But I'll show you a couple of ideas for that in a minute. But at least look at the product inserts. Now, that doesn't help if your product's already in there, right? So it's one step to get you in there. At least it's a start. But yeah, at least using product inserts. You want to jump in on there?
I mean, for product inserts, in my experience, it really depends on what the product is, what's going to work the best. So on some products, a warranty works really, really good. Some kind of warranty for a product that is likely to actually stop working 6 months later. Like there's certain products that they just have a lifespan of a certain amount of time. And if you offer a warranty that is longer than that typical lifespan in people's head, the warranty actually works at a very high conversion rate. But a warranty on something like, if you have a set of silverware that people expect that to last lifetime anyways, then you're going to have a very low conversion rate on that. So you just got to really think, what do my customers actually want? Like, what is actually of value for customers of this specific product? There's no real one-size-fits-all solution.
Very true. It's very true. And I've seen supplement sellers do $200 gift cards, giving away $200 gift cards once a month, and that sort of thing. So you do have to know what your market wants. You do have to say what's the pain that's solving, what could go wrong. Electronics, I'd say, would be a good one for anything with that. I bought I've got it in front of me? No, I haven't. I bought an extension for my iPhone, which actually allows you to create 128 gig of memory onto your iPhone. Now, it didn't have it had a business card in it, but this is here we can have some advantage over the Chinese sellers, to be honest. The call to action on that site was on the business card that was in it, is I was going to get another one free if I sent an email to x12345710515@gmail.com. So it was about that long, right? So that's where I wasn't going to type that out. It just wasn't going to happen. And it was just, you could tell the English was bad, and as well, it was just shocking. It wasn't red, which it did stand out. I'll give it that much. But the call to action wasn't simple enough either. And that's where some people, they get too complicated with what they want people to do as well. I think you need to, this is a bit derogatory, but you need to treat the customer like they don't know anything. And that's where you want to make the simplest approach for them to actually get on your list. Now, there are a few ways. So what I'm going to show you is simple. I've got a MailChimp. MailChimp creates its own landing pages. I'm not sure if many people realize this. Even with a free MailChimp account, you can create your own email opt-in landing pages. And I've got an example up. It's at poppiesandthyme, thyme.co.nz, and this was used for. I used this for my wife's local jewelry company, and we use it every time we go to stores or public use. And it's simply set up with a redirect from the default landing pages built on MailChimp that then goes through that domain. Appears on the domain, making it hard to say, but that's basically a really simple, totally cost-effective way of doing it. All you need is the cost of a domain, and basically that's about it. You can redirect it from there, and MailChimp is all free, and you can design anything you want on the MailChimp landing pages. So if you're a really small seller just getting started, at least set something up like this to get you started on building your customer list. Because your customer list is going to be your future. But in saying that, email has its advantages and disadvantages. So I'll talk about a couple of ideas why it's pluses and minuses, because I've talked to other sellers and they may have built a huge list. I talked to a friend of mine the other day and she built a list of 50,000 people, but she didn't have a plan of how to contact them. So with email, I know yourself and anybody, the length of an email address is when you last heard from this person. Otherwise, when you do send out, they don't know who you are. You're immediately going to put it to spam. You're immediately going to get ignored. So you also have to plan on how you're going to contact these people and follow up with them, so you are building a relationship. Now, every internet marketer asks for an email address, but it's the relationship that you build through email that is key. That's when you're going to get response out of it, and you can send them anywhere you want. If you want to send them to a Facebook post you've put up, you want to send them to a competition you've created, you can direct them into that at the same time. What do you think, Danny? What do you add on to that?
Yeah, well, it's absolutely true what you're saying. Kenji ROI at our agency, email is one of our biggest drivers of getting new clients in the door, having people opt into our email for, from the website for some kind of cheat sheet, or signing up for notifications for the podcast. And then they receive every new podcast episode that comes out. You may have listened to this podcast because we sent you an email, right? And so many of the people that end up becoming our clients, they mention that they have been a long-time podcast listener, and they mention things that we sent in our automatic email sequences. And on the flip side of that, I just interviewed the founder of Plotoverse. It's an app that is doing really, really well. And he has about 2 million email subscribers, but he has not emailed them a single damn thing. And there was a time where he hired a marketing consultant to try to get their emails going, and they were just getting terrible results, right? Because lots of people were just marking it as spam. His deliverability went way down because people are like, I can't even remember what this thing is. And then they just assume it's spam and mark it as spam, right? So really important, even if you're just starting out, have some kind of automation sequence that you're sending those people that opt in. Don't just collect them all until you got a big list and then start mailing them, because that can cause bigger problems than just having a cold list. It can actually get your deliverability of your domain just totally blacklisted and people marking you as spam.
Yeah, exactly right. And there's a new tool out which I haven't tried yet, which it's called gmass.co. And like, full disclaimer, I haven't tried it, but it's an integration with your Gmail account, which allows you to send out through your Gmail account. And they also restrict how much you can send on a certain day. But apparently it apparently gets through that deliverability and actually creates a one-to-one type conversation, and you can spread it out. It's on my list to test. I haven't tried it out yet, but it's definitely something. Deliverability, that's what people struggle with, deliverability, and I have too, because you've got to understand that Gmail and email, you're going to normally on a good response, you might get 40% actually open the email, and that's without people clicking on anything. So you need to realize that going in. So I built a very small list of 1,200 people when I did a competition a while ago, and I quickly realized, this was one of my mistakes, I didn't build it big enough, because the open rates and that made it almost non-performing. And that made me a bit of a light bulb moment going on, that you've got to build that bigger list. The relationship with list is really good. We do a lot out of it, but the actual list isn't big enough to get enough people to take action. So that's one thing I definitely learned from the process.
Sorry, what was the name of that tool again you mentioned for Gmail?
Let me double check. I think it's gmass.co.
Gmass.
Gmass, M-A-S-S.
Gmass for Gmail.
Yeah.
Yeah, here it is. Gmail. Yeah, I'm gonna be looking into that. There's so many good uses for just email in general, cold email, or a tool like this. Really simple if you're not doing email on a very massive scale. Don't worry about signing up for a $100 a month active campaign account or something super fancy, because why do you need that for 100 emails or even 1,000 emails, right? Once you get 5,000, 10,000, 20,000 emails, then you can get really fancy and segment your whole list. But if you're segmenting 100 people, that time is a complete waste of time. It's just really not going to see any results, right?
And that too as well. Here's one thing I don't totally understand is a lot of people do ask for first name and email address. I've seen an internet marketer at a guide at an event say, "Oh, I asked for first name and email address, but I know it drops down our rate of reply." And I've seen bigger companies, they'll ask for like 4 or 5 different fields, including phone numbers and all sorts. And I'm thinking, why do you have a plan for using this information? Or don't you? Why are you collecting more than you necessarily need? Are you trying to create barriers for people to take action? I think it comes down to measurement on whether you actually need to ask more than just email address. I've seen another marketer by the name of Ezra Firestone with Boom by Cindy Joseph, right? And if you have a look at that, he just asked for email address. And part of my research is to go and see what he does. And I watch other people, what they do, but not always what they say they do, if that makes sense. Because if you can get on some of these lists and some of what other people do, you can glean out some really good plans and then combine them with what you get out of your own measurement.
Yeah, I mean, there is the reason to ask for more information is only if you're just getting a bunch of really unqualified people signing up for your list. So really in e-commerce, it doesn't make that much sense. It makes more sense if you are a B2B company where you really want to get someone on a sales call, then maybe you ask for the phone number. And if someone's not willing to give their phone number, then they're probably not a qualified enough lead. They don't actually want it bad enough, right? So if you just have the problem of getting too many leads and you need to actually get higher quality leads instead of more leads, then maybe go ahead and do that. But I really like what you're saying. If you're just selling a physical product and your goal is to get their email, and especially if you're using a product insert and you are asking, every single person who's on that landing page has already bought your product, there's no reason why you need to qualify them. They already bought your product. You just need their email address and you can get them on your list.
Yeah, and you've got to build that relationship when you're on there. So I've got a couple other bits and pieces. Okay, so a big thing is going on at the moment around Facebook and Messenger, and I see a lot of Amazon specialists talking about Facebook Messenger. And I've got on my notes here, yes, but no. And this, I'm going to qualify this. I do believe the value is in Facebook Messenger is in high response, as in it's still a new marketing method. Now, marketers are going to break this tool. That's pretty obvious in time. And the key thing that worries me about this are people just building a list through Facebook Messenger, because it's like you're swapping one big brother for another. Because if Amazon controls all their data and they're going to be protective of it. Facebook Messenger and having a list on Facebook Messenger, Facebook is going to do the same thing. They're going to protect what you can and can't do, and they've already started to do that. So the goal is, if you're going to go through an email lead or a Facebook Messenger, you've got to have integration into both so that you can use them to integrate into both. Now, I've done Facebook advertising campaigns when I ask for straight the Messenger and then directly put them straight into an email list to do the next step. So you've got to have some strategy in place to do both those same things, because one has got high response and the other has got the longer term view of email and another reach out. And look, email might be old, but even when someone signs up for a Facebook account, they've still got to give an email address. So until people stop reading their email completely, it's still a value. People say that email's dying. No, it's just changed. And I think people are getting more and more fussy with what they're putting up with. Yes, filters and all those things are challenges with email, and we can do the best we can, but it's the systems are in place there. I did see something today, exactly this morning, with a marketer I'm following it. He was asking, in his very first email out, he was asking for, "Hey, great, I'd like to know some more about you. Could you hit reply on this email so I can find out more ways to help you?" So now the email system sees you as a friend because you've connected already. So you've got to have that interaction that you didn't need to a few years ago, but that interaction is going to show the system and hopefully keep you in the inbox rather than the spam folder or the promotion or anything else that happens quite a lot anyway. What do you think, Danny?
Yeah, absolutely. So replies are one of the things that will keep you out of email blacklists the most. So if people are actually replying to your emails, then that's going to counteract all the people who do end up marking you with spam or something like that and screws your deliverability. And I like the point you said about Facebook is that they have the agency to just completely shut your account off, suspend you for no reason whatsoever. And sometimes it'll take more than a month to get your account back if you do get it back, right? And while email, you can get on blacklists, as long as you are doing it properly, it's in your control. That is your email list. Building on Messenger, it is not yours. Like you said recently, Facebook is about to go through some changes with Messenger that just really restricts what you're allowed to send to people unless you pay for it. So same thing as what happened with Facebook pages many years ago now, where people were getting massive organic reach through Facebook business pages. And then all of a sudden, they dropped that organic reach down to like 15% of what it was. And now you have to pay for Facebook ads to get the same reach, right? So they're doing the exact same thing with Messenger right now. And you just never know. It's a wild card. You're building your business on someone else's platform, and you have to deal with whatever they decide. And they're probably going to decide to make some more money off of us business owners.
Yep, and they're going to also restrict what you're going to send as ads, because that's their platform, and you have to, I see people in forums, especially Facebook groups, complaining about what Amazon is doing. And to be honest, I don't have a lot of sympathy. It's their sandpit. You chose to play in there. You take the good with the bad. That's just what you have to put up with. You can complain about it all you want, but it's not going to change much. You've got to be flexible and understand the game that you're playing. So just to sort of wind this up. So again, starting with Amazon, I think is a great model. I think there's still a lot of space in there for smart marketers, for people that are going to create great products and focus, but then understanding that you've got to create the marketing that goes with it. And it's a lot. If I step back, when I put my first product in Amazon, I think I spent $200 buying something from China, and I didn't know what I was doing. Now there's no way to get in at a cheap level like that anymore, because you've got to have a marketing budget to actually promote that product, get the sales. However you're going to do that, you've got to have that marketing budget to do that. And that's where you're going to make your money, by creating the sales. So, but what I'm really saying is, yes, Amazon's fantastic, but start building that real business, which is your customers, your audience, as soon as you get on there, and you're going to be in a much better position if something does happen at Amazon. And look, I'd hate to be in a position where someone's built this fantastic business, left their 9-to-5 job, and then got banned at Amazon, couldn't get back on. How much pain would that create? That's that one-legged stool, basically. If you're just getting all your income from Amazon, and saying that, if you're building an Amazon business to sell it later on, investors are going to look a lot better at Amazon that says, okay, I've got a website over here with 1,000 customers, and I've got an Amazon business over here as well. So they're going to look at that and go, oh, that's a lot more safer. It's going to be worth a lot more money, and in the long term. So I guess I'm saying, think long term and think building your own business on top of your audience. And like I said, Shopify store maybe later, but not when you start off. There's a lot of work. It splits your effort. I think when you split your focus too, you don't do a good job on two things at the same time, especially if you were, a solo player or small.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely agree with that. Well, Paul, this has been very valuable. If people want to reach out to you online, where's the best place for them to do so?
So at pauleaston.com, Pauleaston, what I do is, you'll see there's a straight capture page. I practice what I preach, right? And all I do once a week is I do a Facebook Live talking about what I've gone through in e-commerce for that week, what I've learned. I learn a lot of things by doing. I'm an entrepreneur who takes the action and learns from what's happening. I've never been good for sitting on the sidelines. I'd rather get in boots and all. So yeah, you can contact me there. Once a week I do a Facebook Live. You can ask me any questions you want. Hit me up on Facebook otherwise, and I'm happy to talk about how maybe I can help you grow your business. If you're going to build off Amazon, how I can help. That's sort of where the action I come from.
Awesome, Paul. Well, appreciate your time on here. And guys, if you want any of the links and resources mentioned in this episode, check out actualizefreedom.com. And until next time, take care and go and kick some ass.
For show notes and resources mentioned in this episode, visit kenjiroi.com.